it's another update, and I figured I'd go ahead and talk about something I think it's pretty important. I always try to give tips, and this is something I don't think, I haven't really heard anybody say it, but this is my thing, and, take your tip. If you don't like it, then you don't like it, I guess. You guys do your weekly water changes, or bi-weekly, or monthly. Everybody's different about their water changes, but something I've never heard anybody say, which I would recommend you do once a year, twice a year, but do it maybe not even once a year, twice a year. Depends on how you do your water and all that stuff. If it's planted and what kind of fish you have, do a huge water change. Like super maintenance. Like we're talking like deep down in there. I normally do 20-25% water changes, but every once in a while, like 2 or 3 months, or when I feel like it, I'll knock out and give 50% water change. My discus tank, I would do 90% water change. So, when I had the discus, obviously. Now I don't have them. But, that's my suggestion, and I know it's not really a big one, like, oh, do your water change. But not just your water change. Every once in a while, it's good for your aquarium to have a huge, major water change. I try to do 2 a year. The reason I do 2 a year is for the seasons, fall to winter and winter to spring type thing. That's just me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this advice, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Getting ready to do a water change, so sometimes you guys see them super clean and sometimes you don't. I did my other 2, and before I do my water change, I usually feed my fish quite a bit. You guys can see the bottom. I feed them like more than usual because I know I'm getting ready to do a water change. So I don't know if you guys can see that green guppy just go crazy. It's gorgeous. So I'll show you guys what's been going on. Geez, look at that cherry shrimp. It's pretty big, like relatively speaking. I figured out what I want to do with this tank. I just haven't done it yet for several reasons. I'm going to get rid of all the red plants out of this tank, and I'm going to go with some crypts throughout the front. I'm going to get rid of this too. All this right here, get rid of it. And I'm going to go with just the crypts. I'm going to go with some crypts, and then I'm not sure what I'm doing with the front. I might do some dwarf sag, I'm not sure. And then for the back, I think I'm going to keep the Hygrophilium Augustive, but I might save it, or might get rid of it, and do maybe like some Madagascar lace, or just something different. So I'm definitely going to get, this tank's going to be completely redone. I'm going to get rid of all the guppies out of here. I don't know if you guys can see all them babies in there, but I'm going to get rid of all of them. I'm going to get rid of all the shrimp in here, and I'm going to specifically buy shrimp for this tank, specifically buy guppies for this tank. So just specifically for this tank. So this will be my tank I enjoy watching. These guys have not spawned, so I'm tempted into... What the hell? My iPad started playing, which is weird. I'm tempted into putting these guys into the 55-gallon and hoping they spawn in there, and just kind of leaving this cycled, and maybe putting like a guppy in there or something, or 2 pregnant females, but you can see all the baby guppies in there. But anyways, and hope they spawn. I'm going to do a pretty big water change. I've been feeding them pretty heavy, as you guys can see. There's food at the bottom. I feed them every day, 2-3 times a day, and just they haven't done anything. So I'm going to move them to the 55 and see if they maybe repair, or maybe, I don't know what's going on with these guys. They're just not spawning. So yeah, kind of weird. But the ones in my 55 only spawn twice, so I'm not too worried about it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to switch out the lighting, and when I get my lighting, switch the light bulb out and put some Java moss in here too, so, create some extra oxygen. I'm going to get rid of the hang-on filter once, I know it's alright, just to make sure it's alright. So that's the plan for this. But yeah, tons of guppies. I do like all the guppies. It's pretty badass, but it's not what I'm looking for. I don't know if you guys can see all of them guppies in there, all them babies. I mean, I like it. I think it looks cool, but, I want to get to a specific color or specific type. I'm not sure what yet, or anything like that, so I'm up in the air on that. So I might even just get rams, or, yeah, maybe some little rams in here. I don't know yet. I'll see. Tank is done. I just got to finish filling it all the way. God, that's a gorgeous male. And, you know, they have breeding activity. They'll fight, beat each other up. But then I can't tell who's who. And what I mean, he just spit out some food. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, like, there's two over here, right? Well, these three will be over here by this thing. And I don't know who the female is and who the male is. And they all protect the eggs. So I'm just like, alright, who the fuck, you know, excuse my language, but who spawned? Who was the male and who was the female? And I can never tell. And same thing over here. I'll have these, there's three over here. And they'll spawn, and I don't know who's who. So it kind of sucks. So, but my tank is coming along, so you guys can see. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm looking for some plants, and I can't find them. But once I do, I'll order them. I think they're called Stauropogens. They're lower plants, and they look kind of like little trees. They're kind of cool looking. Maybe not trees. I'm not sure what you would really describe it, but I think it just would finish this tank off. And I'm gonna put them in the front and let them grow and, you know, do their thing. Stauropogens. I don't even know how to spell it, to be honest with you. So I don't even know how I'm going to find them. But, you know, I'll look on eBay and I'll look on Aquabid for them. Stauropogens, I don't know. Stauropogens, I don't know. So if you guys have any websites that has plants, you know, let me know. And I'll definitely check them out to look for these plants because I am looking for them. And I don't want to spend a whole lot of money because I've seen, like, they're called noodles, I guess. 20 noodles or whatever, or 20 stems, I guess, of the plant for like $10, which is enough to get me started in the front, and I'll just let it grow in. So, but that's what's up. I'll give you guys a different angle. I did add these right here. You guys can see they're a different color, maybe. And they were in my 10-gallon. I just moved them over here, and then I got some Trident Fern up there just because. So I'm definitely going to push this a little bit further, and like I said, just let it fill in all the way. So it looks pretty good, I think. So, and then, you know, kind of open this up and keep that low like that, just kind of. So I think it looks pretty good. I'm not really the greatest aquascaper, but I think this looks pretty badass. This tank's just getting filled, just random plants in there. Like I said, I might have a contest with this. So whenever I get my PayPal check thingy, I might end up having 2 contests. So, you know, something for you guys to look out for. I might end up having like a plant giveaway, and then I might have like a cash giveaway or something like that. This tank has been my sell tank, and I still have those plants for sale. So if anybody wants some beautiful red plants, you know, aquabid.com, check it out. Emo fish, $1, I think it's starting at. I'm not sure what it is. And, you know, I have other plants in there and stuff, but for the most part, you know, just the red plants for right now. And then, you know, once I empty this out a little bit more, you know, I'll see what's up. I'll probably, whoever buys them, I'll probably throw in a bunch of free Ludwigia, Ludwigia rippings. So if you guys are interested, feel free. If I don't sell them and you noticed it and you were looking for them and you want these red plants, send me a private message. But wait till the auction's over, please. And, you know, I'll work out a deal with you or something like that. So definitely need to get these gone. So, but that's what's up. So the plans for this is going to still be a cell tank. And basically what I would like to do is just grow those red plants in this tank. Because, 1, they're gorgeous. 2, you know, look how they look. So I think it'd be a good thing to sell these red plants just in this tank, and then you know, get rid of all the other stuff and set up another. Like, I plan on getting rid of a bunch of plants from my 20-gallon, and then with money I use out of that 20-gallon tank, go ahead and buy all the plants that I want for that 20-gallon and fish. So that's the plan. So all right, this is getting a little bit long. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Questions, comments, like it, share the video. I know people do this share, and I do try to comment back if you do comment. Sometimes I don't because I am busy. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, peace out, homies.